Welcome to Hero Villains. Who do you think would win when He-Man vs Superman when ancient power clashes with the god from the sky? He-Man, whose real name is Prince Adam of Eternia, wields the legendary Sword of Power. When he shouts the sacred incantation, Adam transforms into the strongest warrior of Eternia, a symbol of ancient strength, magic, and royal will. He-Man's strength lies not only in his immense physical power, but also in his ability to confront divine beings, cosmic monsters, and supernatural forces far beyond mortal standards. Superman, also known as Kal-El, is the last son of Krypton, raised on Earth under a yellow sun. Solar energy grants him almost limitless strength, supersonic speed, the ability to fly, heat vision, and durability that is nearly impossible to breach. Superman is not only a symbol of physical power, but also the embodiment of ideals, compassion, and absolute responsibility. Before we dive deeper into the analysis, please press the subscribe button and remember to turn on notifications by clicking the bell icon. Thank you very much. Prince Adam is the heir of King Randor and Queen Marlena, a woman from Earth who chose to devote her entire life to Eternia. The fusion of royal blood and extraterrestrial origin created an Adam who appears ordinary, yet carries an extraordinary destiny. Few know that behind his careless and clumsy demeanor lies the chosen guardian of the greatest secret in the universe. He, man, is the true identity of Prince Adam, and he is also the twin brother of She-Ra. When he raises the Sword of Power and speaks the ancient oath, Adam transforms into the greatest warrior of Eternia. Alongside his loyal allies, he stands at the boundary between light and darkness, protecting Castle Grayskull, ancient secrets, and the order of the universe from the endless schemes of Skeletor, his eternal enemy who constantly craves ultimate power. The title of the strongest man in the universe is no exaggeration. Man possesses strength so extraordinary that he has directly confronted Superman without being overpowered. He has survived at least 2 world-destroying explosions, though the cost was reverting to his Adam form, proving that even divine power has its limits. He-Man's physical strength is classified at a colossal level, capable of lifting at least hundreds of tons. With his bare hands, he once lifted Castle Grayskull, stopped Hordak's ship before it escaped gravitational pull, and pushed Eternia Moon back into its original orbit. Mountains have been displaced, diamonds shattered, objects hurled out of orbit, and the ground of Eternia cracked under this power. In every battle, He-Man is not just muscle, but a symbol of faith, willpower, and unyielding hope. He-Man stands out not only for his overwhelming strength, but also for the fear he inspires through rare speed and agility. He moves so fast that he can run in circles to create violent whirlwinds, demonstrating speed that reaches at least hundreds of miles per hour. His hands are so fast and powerful that when he rubs sand, the friction generates enough heat to turn it into glass. The Sword of Power in He-Man grasp can be spun at tremendous speed, generating lift that allows him to rise into the air like a warrior of the skies. Beyond speed, He-Man possesses endurance that is almost unbreakable. High-intensity laser beams and massive falling boulders are merely minor trials, leaving no trace of damage on his body. When Prince Adam transforms, his intellect is elevated to a higher level. He-Man often chooses victory through strategy and cunning, causing enemies to fall before they even understand what has happened. Behind this lies mastery of martial arts and swordsmanship, honed over years under the guidance of Man-at-Arms and Teela. All of this combines to create a warrior who is not only powerful, but also wise, a living symbol of courage and intellect on Eternia. The Sword of Power is the iconic symbol tied to the legend of He-Man, an ancient artifact infused with magic that grants Prince Adam power, nearly impossible to destroy. The sword serves both as a weapon and as a key that unlocks supreme strength. In combat, it can reflect deadly laser beams, bend magical energies, and unleash brilliant energy blasts. More than that, the blade can absorb the strength of opponents, turning enemy attacks into an advantage for its rightful wielder. Beside Adam is always Cringer, a timid green tiger with a fearful nature toward everything around him. However, when Adam transforms into He-Man and points the Sword of Power toward Cringer, a miraculous phenomenon occurs. The tiger transforms into Battle Cat, a mighty armored war mount that roars like thunder and charges into battle without hesitation. This special ability was discovered by Adam purely by chance, but later became an indispensable part of every life or death battle. Adam shares a deep bond with Teela, who grew up alongside him since childhood. She was adopted and trained by Duncan, also known as Man-at-Arms, and later became the captain of the Eternian Guard. Ironically, Teela is completely unaware of He-Man's true identity. In her eyes, Adam is merely a lazy and weak prince. This misunderstanding forces him to continue playing the role of a clumsy noble, accepting being underestimated in order to protect a great secret that could change the fate of all Eternia. Throughout the journey to protect Eternia, He-Man is never alone. Fighting by his side is Man-at-Arms, his close friend and the foremost scientific mind of the royal court. With sharp intellect and a passion for invention, he constantly creates advanced weapons and devices, each invention specifically designed to support He-Man in the most brutal battles. The source of He-Man power lies deep within Castle Grayskull, an ancient fortress that contains power beyond imagination. This is the dwelling place of the sorceress, the entity who granted Adam the ability to transform and who connects with him through telepathy. To protect those he loves from unimaginable danger, He-Man is forced to keep his true identity a secret. This secret is shared only with a select few, such as Orko, Man-at-Arms, Cringer, and the Sorceress, those he trusts completely. He-Man's primary adversary is Skeletor, his eternal enemy who bears a horrific form with blue skin and a chilling golden skull for a head. He is a master of dark magic, highly skilled in both sorcery and combat, always acting with cunning and terrifying intelligence. At Skeletor's side stands an army of loyal minions, ready to carry out every dark scheme. Each time he appears, darkness spreads across Eternia, forcing He-Man to rise, not only with strength, but with unwavering faith and the will to protect his world. He-Man represents not only pure power, but also hope, a declaration that light can always rise, even when darkness seems to cover everything. I truly hope you will subscribe to the channel. It helps us greatly and you are absolutely amazing. Thank you so very much. Now let us talk about Superman. Superman is regarded as one of the most powerful beings ever to set foot on Earth, and also one of the greatest heroic symbols of humanity. He was born into the noble house of El, under the name Kal-El, at the final moment when his home planet stood on the brink of annihilation. When Krypton exploded, the child became one of the very few survivors, carrying with him the last hope of an entire race that vanished into oblivion. Sent to Earth in a small spacecraft, Kal-El was found by Jonathan and Martha Kent in the peaceful rural town of Smallville in the state of Kansas. There, he grew up as a normal human, raised with love, compassion, and strong moral values. It was this humble environment that shaped the noble nature of Superman, leading him to always place the lives and happiness of others above his own. As he matured, his extraordinary abilities gradually awakened. Overwhelming strength, speed beyond imagination, the power of flight, and a wide range of other super abilities transformed Superman into a living shield for Earth. Yet what truly makes him great is not merely his power, but his choice. Though he could rule, Superman chooses to protect. Though he could stand above all, he stands beside humanity, becoming a beacon of hope, justice, and faith that the greatest strength always comes from a compassionate heart. Kal-El possesses the unique physiology of a Kryptonian, allowing his body to absorb energy from yellow stars. Under Earth, yellow sun, every cell in Superman's body continuously stores this abundant energy. As a result, he gains immense strength, senses so sharp that he can perceive the slightest disturbances, skin that is nearly impenetrable, and the ability to overcome gravity and freely soar through the skies. Superman can release this energy outward in wide-scale bursts with devastating destructive power, enough to alter the outcome of an entire battle. At a more refined level of control, he uses this energy to raise his body temperature to extreme levels, enhancing the force of each strike. Beyond the yellow sun, Kal-El Kryptonian body can also adapt to and absorb energy from blue stars, further amplifying his strength and other abilities. He has even demonstrated the capacity to absorb rare forms of energy, such as reflecting the destructive light of Mageddon. Superman's physical strength reaches a level that is almost levels unimaginable. Lifting massive weights far beyond hundreds of tons is for him little more than a natural action, requiring no visible effort. No one has been able to determine the ultimate limit of this ability. When flying and supporting enormous objects, Superman is further aided by an invisible bioelectric force field that surrounds his body, helping to distribute weight and prevent objects from collapsing in his grasp. However, this power is not infinite. Superman's strength is closely tied to radiation from the sun. When this energy source is diminished or depleted, he must recharge in order to return to peak condition. Even so, under normal circumstances, his overwhelming power has allowed him to dominate numerous superheroes and powerful entities, from Martian Manhunter, Captain Atom, Green Lantern, and Aquaman to Wonder Woman. He has also matched strength with infamous adversaries such as General Zod, Doomsday, Brainiac, and Black Adam. Names powerful enough to make entire planets tremble. Not only strong, Superman also possesses terrifying speed. He can move and fly so fast that he surpasses even light itself, tearing through space in an instant. Although his absolute maximum has never been clearly defined and is often considered lower than that of the Flash, this speed is still enough to turn Superman into a living storm, appearing and disappearing before opponents can even realize what has happened. In every punch and every streak across the sky, he embodies power, speed, and unshakable force. Superman has the ability to convert the solar energy stored within his body into concentrated thermal beams. These energy streams reach temperatures comparable to the core of a star, powerful enough to injure many beings once considered invulnerable. The destructive force of these heat beams rivals the energy attacks of Green Lantern. Normally, the two streams of blazing red light fired from his eyes are the familiar sign of that power. But when the intensity is reduced, they can become invisible, allowing Superman to act silently without his opponents ever realizing it. Alongside his terrifying offensive power, Kal-El also possesses durability that is nearly absolute. Bullets, missiles, explosives, and most modern weapons cannot penetrate his skin. Even many beings with superhuman strength struggle to inflict meaningful damage. However, there are still entities powerful enough to challenge these limits, including Mongol, Darkseid, Doomsday, Brainiac, Lobo, Despero, Orion, as well as other formidable Kryptonians and Martians. In addition, high-level energy-based attacks can also injure Superman. Superman is still mortal and therefore remains vulnerable to magic in all its forms, just like anyone else. Wonder Woman Tiara is enchanted and can therefore be used to harm Superman, as he is susceptible to magic. Other examples include the magical lightning that Black Adam and Captain Marvel can generate through their powers. Superman weakens when exposed to red solar radiation, similar to that of his home planet star Rao. He loses his Kryptonian abilities under red sun energy and must be recharged by yellow solar energy in order to regain them. Yet Superman also has perfect control over his breath. He can inhale an enormous volume of air, hold it for extended periods, or exhale hurricane-force gusts capable of sweeping away all obstacles. More importantly, he can regulate the temperature of that airflow, turning his breath into freezing cold that locks down the battlefield, or simply a life-saving breeze in moments of life and death. To reach his strongest state, Superman requires his mind to function at peak efficiency. Under optimal conditions, Superman is often placed at a small planetary level of power and has been considered comparable to Superboy. Although there is still debate about his ability to stop threats such as asteroid spores, his actual feats have proven his extraordinary potential. Even while being possessed, Superman was able to shatter the energy constructs of Yellow Guy Gardner and stun High Master, an entity powerful enough to hold back multiple Green Lanterns at once. At the height of his power, Superman reaches a low multiversal level. He has defeated Darkseid in a fair battle, something Darkseid himself acknowledged, and even accomplished this while not at full power. Mongol, who is considered equal to Darkseid, was also subdued by Superman. He went on to confront terrifying entities such as the Weird and Monarch, the latter capable of warping space and time and once overwhelming the entire Justice League. Most notably, during the Doomsday event when Superman was brought brought down, he felt an unprecedented surge of untapped energy coursing through his body. This was not merely power, but proof of a will that surpasses limits, where Superman continually breaks beyond himself to stand firm against forces that seem impossible to defeat. The encounter between the two heroes begins with a tragedy. Under the influence of cunning illusions laid by Skeletor and Luthor, both He-Man and Superman believe that the other is a threat that must be eliminated. With no time to reflect, He-Man swings the sword of power and charges forward, the blade blazing with the might of Grayskull. Superman reacts in an instant, dodging with speed far beyond normal perception and delivering a thunderous punch that sends He-Man flying across the battlefield. Yet ancient power quickly pulls the warrior of Eternia back to his feet, his gaze unwavering. In a brief moment, Superman realizes that his opponent harbors no malice, but the magical curse binding his will prevents him from stopping. He streaks across the battlefield, leaving shrieking trails of wind and firing heat beams from his eyes. He-Man blocks everything with his sword while releasing magical energy to reinforce his body. Amid the clashes, they manage to exchange a few words about their homelands and their missions to protect the world, making the battle even more bitter. Superman presses the attack with sheer physical force, driving He-Man through mountain ranges and using freezing breath to lock down his every movement. Though gravely wounded, He-Man senses that the sword is absorbing energy from those very attacks, converting it into violent magic. When he calls upon Grayskull at maximum power, waves of mystical force spread outward and visibly weaken Superman, as magic is his blind spot. His cape is torn apart and his wounds do not heal as they normally would. In a final effort, Superman surges into the upper atmosphere to deliver a decisive blow. But He-Man opens a magical portal, pulling him back to the ground, and strikes with a precise slash. The magical energy pierces Superman's defenses, causing him to collapse unconscious. The battlefield falls silent, leaving behind the aftermath of a clash between two legends. He-Man remains standing, with his sword glowing brightly, and declares victory. I hope you enjoyed this battle. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments section. Follow me if you like the content. That is the video for today. Thank you very much.